England's story begins long before castles and crowns. Its origins lie in ancient tribes, invading armies, and the merging of cultures. The land we now call England has always been shaped by waves of people. The first humans arrived after the last ice age, more than 10,000 years ago. They were hunter-gatherers, following rivers and forests for survival. Later, farming spread across the land. Stone circles like Stonehenge, built nearly 5,000 years ago, show their skill in building and their belief in the power of the sun and sky. On the longest and shortest days of the year, the stones still align with the sunrise and sunset. These monuments remind us that early Britain was already a place of ceremony and community. By the Iron Age, Celtic tribes dominated Britain. They spoke Celtic languages, crafted fine jewelry, and built fortified hill forts. Each tribe had its own chiefs and warriors. They worshipped gods of nature, tied to rivers, trees, and the sky. They were not a single people, but many, and they gave the land some of its earliest cultural identity. Then came the Romans. In 43 CE, the Roman legions invaded under Emperor Claudius. They built towns such as Londinium, today's London. They constructed roads that still shape England's map. They brought baths, amphitheaters, and new styles of farming. The Romans also built Hadrian's Wall in the north to defend their province from unconquered tribes. Later they tried pushing further with the Antonine Wall, but they abandoned it. For nearly 4 centuries, much of England was part of the Roman world. Latin words, Roman laws, and trade networks all left their mark. But by the early 5th century, Rome was collapsing. Its legions withdrew, leaving Britain vulnerable and fragmented. From across the North Sea came new settlers. The Angles, Saxons, and Jutes crossed from what is now Germany and Denmark. At first, they came as mercenaries to defend local rulers. But soon they carved out their own kingdoms. Over time, their languages blended into Old English. The land itself took their name, Angleland or England. The Anglo-Saxons created many small kingdoms, Northumbria in the north, Mercia in the Midlands, Wessex in the south. They built wooden halls, villages, and churches. They valued loyalty, courage, and honor, as reflected in their epic poetry like Beowulf. They also developed law codes and assemblies that gave England some of its earliest traditions of governance. In the 7th century, Christianity spread across England. Missionaries from Rome and Ireland converted kings and nobles. Monasteries became centers of learning, preserving knowledge and producing beautiful illuminated manuscripts such as the Lindisfarne Gospels. The cross replaced the old pagan gods, though echoes of them survive in names like Wednesday, Woden's Day, and Thursday, Thor's Day. But peace did not last. From the late 8th century, Viking longships appeared on England's coasts. They raided monasteries like Lindisfarne, shocking the Christian world. But the Vikings were not only raiders. They were also settlers and traders. They established farms and founded towns such as Dublin, York, and others. In the north and east of England, they ruled the Danelaw land, where their laws and customs prevailed. For a time, England was divided between Anglo-Saxon kingdoms in the south and Viking power in the north. But resistance came from Wessex, under leaders like Alfred the Great. Alfred defended his kingdom with fortified towns, or burhs. He encouraged learning and translated important works into English. He dreamed of a united land. His descendants carried that dream forward. By the 10th century, many of the Anglo-Saxon and Viking lands had been united under one crown. England was beginning to emerge as a single kingdom. Yet the story did not end there. In 1066, a new invasion changed England forever. William, Duke of Normandy, crossed the Channel to claim the throne. At the Battle of Hastings, his Norman knights defeated the Anglo-Saxon King Harold Godwinson. This moment was a turning point. The Normans built stone castles across England, symbols of their power. They introduced a new aristocracy and new laws. The English language itself began to change, blending Old English with Norman French. Words of war, government, and law came from French. Words of home and farming remained Old English. Together, they formed the roots of modern English. The origins of England are not a single event, but a series of transformations. From the Celtic tribes to the Romans, from the Anglo-Saxons to the Vikings, and finally the Normans. Each wave of people left their mark on the land, the culture, and the language. Each invasion reshaped the identity of the people who lived there. What we call England today was forged through centuries of struggle, adaptation, and resilience. This is the origin of England, a land built on layers of history, a land where every stone, every word, and every tradition carries echoes of those who came before.
For all your must-have gadgets and accessories, make sure to check out Tech Essentials.